What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we are going to be starting our daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout all of the January winter window. If you are interested and you are enjoying the content and you want to stay up to date and in the loop with everything happening with Manchester City news and transfer news throughout this whole month, daily transfer updates coming up from me. Make sure you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. You want to stay up to date ASAP, I'll be tweeting a lot of stuff, keeping you up to date on my social media links. You can find them in description below and popping up on screen. If you're interested in sponsoring any of my videos or any general business enquiries, my email is in description below, or it's just simply jsgc171@gmail.com. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video, it really helps me out. And don't forget also, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you want Manchester City to sign this winter window? Before we crack on with the video though, I just wanted to wish everybody that is watching this and all of my subscribers and supporters, much love by the way, a very happy new year and a very happy new decade going into 2020. I hope it brings you a lot of joy and laughter and you all have an ace year. So we're going to crack on with this video now, and we're first up going to be talking about a player that City have been linked with, which is Erling Braut Haarland. He has signed for a new club. It isn't Manchester City, but it is not Manchester United either. He has signed for Borussia Dortmund for £18 million. That's a good deal from Red Bull Salzburg. Like I said, he was linked with Manchester City. He's got an agent in Raiola. City won't do business with him, so obviously Manchester City weren't going to be signing him. Manchester United were interested, but Raiola's made some interesting comments. Go and check them out on Twitter about Manchester United, and in particular with his client Paul Pogba. He's a bit of a poisonous agent. It's a bit of a sort of sideways move, this, for Haaland. It's more of a temporary move where he's going to sign for Dortmund, use Dortmund to try and develop his career before trying to push on and go to another club for a big money deal with big wages, and I'm sure Raiola will try and milk it for all it is worth. But it's a good deal anyway for Dortmund, of course. Not just Dortmund were interested, obviously, in the Bundesliga. I'm fairly sure Red Bull Leipzig, who are obviously owned by Red Bull, same as Salzburg, they were interested too. So a little bit of a sucker punch that they've not signed him, and instead he's gone to Borussia Dortmund. I'm not too sure where this leaves Jadon Sancho. Obviously, a lot of rumours are going around about Sancho. Manchester United interested, Chelsea interested, and obviously Manchester City do have first dibs on Sancho, but I'm fairly sure that Sancho won't be leaving in January. That's more for the summer, so if City want to sign a homegrown winger, they could. I doubt that we're going to though, but it's one of those I'll keep my eye on. Now, a new name that City have been getting linked with is Diego Carlos of Sevilla. 26-year-old centre-back for Sevilla, Brazilian, apparently has a release clause of €75 million. Manchester City like signing players from Spain due to the non-negotiation, so they don't get ripped off. There's a release clause there. City are either happy to pay that release clause, no negotiations, you don't have to haggle, you don't have to worry about other clubs coming in for him and that price rising. City like going to Spain, and it wouldn't surprise me if we went to Spain again to try and bring in a centre-back, just like we did with Aymeric Laporte signing him from Athletic Bilbao. But we do face competition from Liverpool. They're trying to sign him too. I'll get onto that in just a moment, but MEN are reporting that City are targeting him for 2020. Doesn't say if this is going to be a summer or January deal, but with Liverpool sniffing around, they like to get their deals done early. Even if that means signing him in the summer, they'll activate the release clause now and announce that they'll bring him in the summer. So if City want to bring these top-class players in, and they are serious about signing these players, City have to act quick. Something that when I can maybe criticise the club on with their transfer policy is we're not very quick when it comes to transfers. We think too much about things rather than just going in and trying to sign the players. Like, you either want to sign these players or you don't, and I think it's important that we identify some players that we want to sign and just go all blazing for these players to try and bring them in, because it's getting to a point where we need some top class centre backs. We're needing to find that Vincent Kompany replacement. We need a top class centre back Vincent Kompany, so we need to spend the money to bring in someone that is top class. Is Diego Carlos that man? I'm not too sure, but he's getting linked with Manchester City. But I imagine that every centre-back will be getting linked with Manchester City throughout all of 2020, because clubs know that Manchester City want centre-backs. I've heard not just one, but two centre-backs from either this window maybe bringing in one, or in the summer maybe bringing in 1 to 2 centre-backs. But City at the moment, we're struggling because we've got non-homegrown quota players full, so we need to sell a player if we want to bring a non-homegrown player in. We can announce a deal to say we've signed this player and we'll be bringing them in the summer. That then allows us time to be able to sort out the future, in particular of Nicolas Otamendi that's come into question, and he may well not be a Manchester City player come this time next season, and also the future of Leroy Sané that also needs sorting too. So City could make the signing for the summer and announce them in this window. Don't rule that out. I doubt we'll do something like that. It doesn't sound like something we'd do, but it's what Liverpool do. It works for Liverpool. If it works for Liverpool, couldn't City do it? Perhaps, but I do sense that Spain is a likely place that City may go for their centre-back. Portugal too, because they have release clauses. They don't have to negotiate, and City don't like negotiating because they don't like being ripped off. One thing I'm almost certain of is if we're going to bring in top-class centre-back, we're going to have to smash, not just break, smash our transfer record, and I'm talking 70, 80, maybe even more million pounds to bring a player in. And don't forget, it's also quite common for players to have release clauses in South America, and that's something I'll be keeping my eye on throughout the whole of the month. Now, another player that's getting linked with Manchester City is Ben Chilwell. This has come from some source called News. That's it. Doesn't sound very reliable, but what they were saying actually was very interesting. They were saying that Ben Chilwell is interested in working with Pep Guardiola, but he's not going to commit to his future to Leicester, or saying that he wants to sign for Manchester City because he wants to see what Pep's doing with his future. Obviously, there's rumours going around that Pep won't be here at Manchester City next season, which to me is just absolute codswallop, and I'm fairly sure that Pep, minimum, will see out his contract at Manchester City. He isn't a person that likes to leave with unfinished business, so I'm fairly sure he'll see out at least his contract, so we'll have another at least 18 months of Pep Guardiola. I think that'd be a great signing, by the way, getting Pep on a new deal. That'd be like the best bit of business we could do, possibly in January, but there we go. Apparently he's available for £60 million, which, to me, I'm not sure about. Leicester drive a hard bargain. They don't have to sell Ben Chilwell. He's homegrown, and they know if the big boys come calling, that £60 million, I reckon they might be looking for a little bit more, if I'm completely honest. I reckon £60 million would probably be their starting price, and they'd probably be looking for more. Do I value Ben Chilwell at that? I like Ben Chilwell. I think he's a good player. I don't value him at that much money, but obviously with City having 3 left-backs already, we'd have to sell a left-back. Does that mean Angelino goes out on loan? Do we sell him? He's a homegrown player, of course. I can't imagine City doing that. What do we do with Alexander Zinchenko? Does he push on and go to another club? Or do we sort out the future of Benjamin Mendy? Because whilst he's not been as injury-prone this season, his quality on the pitch, unfortunately, hasn't been that of what we know he's capable of. But I sense that given time, given to the end of the season, see where we go from there. I imagine this is something that we might be talking about when it gets to the summer. Now, another player that City have been linked with previously is Julian Weigl of Borussia Dortmund. He has left Borussia Dortmund and he has joined Benfica. So, a defensive midfield target once upon a time for Manchester City. He leaves with his future sorted as he goes to Portugal. And another player that Manchester City are getting linked with quickly is Jonny Evans of Leicester. Now, I was under the illusion that Manchester City were cooling their interest in Jonny Evans, but Sky Sports have been reporting that, however, that may not be the case, and City are taking a good look at Jonny Evans. I think he's 31 years old though, so I'm not sure what feed Leicester might be looking for. He's experienced and he's homegrown. Is he the answer? I have my doubts. I'd like to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. We're going to move on to the outs now, and this is interesting as well. Fernandinho, he is a target for Paris Saint-Germain. Apparently PSG, they've identified 3 players to try and sort out their defensive midfield problem. He's one of a few options, Fernandinho. They're not going to be signing him in January, but they are keeping an eye on him as to whether he's going to be released or not, because they'll be able to nab him on a free. Fernandinho is a very good player, and I think he's more than capable of getting at least 1 or 2 seasons out of him, and I think PSG would be an excellent move should he leave Manchester City. But I don't want Fernandinho to leave. Like, Fernandinho's a really good player, and I feel like he has so much to offer, even if that might not be on the pitch, just through experience with the younger players and coaching them. Like, to me, I think he's worth another 12 months on his contract. But yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. And one thing I'm keeping my eye on, like, it's not too interesting, but it is a little bit. Football Insider, they're reporting Patrick Roberts, he's going to cancel his loan with Norwich City in the Premier League because he wants to move back to the Championship, and apparently he is set for a loan move to Middlesbrough. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on for that. Obviously, I'm expecting more outgoings happening throughout all of the January transfer window. We know that Manchester City may well be having a look. I know Pep has said that City won't be signing anyone in January, but we are going to say that. We're not going to say, oh, we're actively looking for a player, then not sign anyone and all hell breaks loose. They're going to be keeping their business on the down low and keeping an eye on the availabilities and seeing where we go from there. I mean, Bayern Munich could come in swooping in for Leroy Sané, and if City find a good deal and City decide to accept that, the fate, and Leroy Sané ain't committing his future to Manchester City and decide to cash in, because he's got 18 months left on his contract, so he's going to be valued more right now than 12 months. They might decide to cash in. That frees up a non-homegrown player, and all of a sudden then City's got, I mean, we must be looking at minimum £100 million then for Leroy Sané, that we've got some money to spend. That'll spice things up, so that is something I'm going to be keeping my eye on. I imagine that'll probably go on all window. It's one of those that might spring into action as the window goes on later towards deadline day. I'll keep my eye on that. Daily transfer updates, don't forget, so I'll keep you up to date with everything that is happening. So make sure that you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, so I know that you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Social media links in description below and popping up on screen for my Twitter and Instagram. And don't forget my email in description below for any general business enquiries, or you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos. And I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next video. It's going to be a tiring, well, month for me, but I love doing this stuff. Daily transfer updates. We'll of course be having the match analysis and previews and stuff as the Premier League season goes on too. It's crazy season. Welcome to 2020. I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So it's been JSGC. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.